my film Adipurush has got a second innings. Now that it has come on OTT, the struggle is still there. About the stereotyping, it happens. Will be great. That's something which happened with my marriage.
Hello and namaskar. आप देख रहे हैं Z Media and this is Tanya Garg. In conversation today we have with us the very charming Siddhant Karnick. This man certainly left an impact on his audience with his phenomenal performance in Made in Heaven 2. Thank you so much for joining us today, Siddhant.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, I have to say this, that you were so convincing as Anik that you made all of us hate you. So congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
So pehle to, how did the directors convince you to play this part?
They didn't need to convince me. I had to convince them.
Right.
I had to audition for it, and through the auditioning, I think that's how we got it. The fact that I've done TEDx talks, public speaking. I don't think many actors are comfortable speaking in public in large audiences.
Right.
तो वो एक extra skill set मेरे पास था which worked for me.
Right.
Other than that, I think they believed and I performed.
They believed you as a toxic husband.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Well, I think that was lovely. You really came out strong.
Thank you.
Also, do you believe that you do you find any similarities between your character and your character in you and your character in Made in Heaven 2? Anything?
Similarities only in the public speaking domain. He's a life coach. I'm a positivity speaker. However, with the other side of him, the narcissistic, violent, troubled man that he is, I don't share any. I'd like to believe I don't share anything. Abhi uske aage.
Right, and we would like to believe that also. So, do you believe that a relationship like, Adira and Anik could ever be fixed in real life?
I believe Adira and Anik's relationship could be fixed, yes.
Right.
Because any relationship is difficult. It's challenging, and I think once you get over those challenging times, the relationship only becomes stronger. So, umeed to hai ki it would work, but we'll have to wait for the next season maybe.
Okay, right. Also, you played Vibhishan, this calm, composed person in Adipurush.
Yes, before we go to, I'd just like to say something about Anik's character, which is something we worked in. See, Anik was not an evil man. He's a troubled man. There are a lot of men and women who are also troubled in that manner, who get triggered by these uncontrollable urges that they get. Right. It's important for not just their partners but even their parents to be aware of these troubled people, make them seek professional help, allow them to channelize their energies in a more constructive manner. So in that way, I don't think Alankrita, my director, and myself, and even the writer, we didn't intend Anik to be evil.
Well, I have to agree with you on this. Also, moving ahead.
Ji.
So, I was saying that you played this calm, composed Vibhishan in Adipurush, and then you went ahead to play this dominating, toxic husband in modern day series Made in Heaven 2. So, how did you prepare for this shift in altogether genre and character for yourself? Did it take a toll on your mental health also?
Because I'm a trained actor, I was able to handle both of them, and in fact I remember more than the toll of the characters, we were shooting both the projects at the same time. The toll was the stress of working the dates out, because यहाँ के dates वहाँ overlap हो रहे थे and vice versa, and that was what took more of a toll on me than the character. The character, that's what we are trained for. 20 years of training helps in cutting off, in getting into the character a lot more quickly.
Even though Adipurush had this right intention, had their heart at the right place, what would you say, what went wrong with Adipurush?
People's expectation.
Right.
And I believe now my film Adipurush has got a second innings. Now that it has come on OTT, those who've not watched it, because of whatever they might have heard, when now they are watching it from a fresh perspective, they're like, oh, this is a good movie. Oh, theek hai, this is the director, Om sir's visualization of how he sees it, but most of them are liking it. In fact, I was speaking to your producer And he said कि his 6-year-old son came to me and he said, Papa, मुझे वो राम जी की पिक्चर देखनी है.
Yeah.
और 2 बजे तक Sir was watching it with his family, and for a father to allow his son also to watch it till 2 o'clock, you know, it is breathing a new life.
Right.
And I have absolutely all hope that this film, it's a good film.
Yeah.
It might not be the film how the people who've said or been very vocal about it have visualized it.
Right.
But it is one man's vision, and I see no reason why you would doubt that man's vision. He created Adipurush. That in itself is a huge thing.
Right.
He created the biggest budget film that came out of India. That in itself is a big thing.
Right.
Some scenes, yes, could have been done differently, but largely it was a good movie. I really enjoyed the movie when I watched. I see, and it was made for everybody, but it was also made for the next generation, for the generation who's not in tune with our culture. Why? It's not their fault, it's our fault. We haven't made it modern enough.
Right.
Today, these kids will wear t-shirts of Thor, of Incredible Hulk, you know, these Western heroes.
Yeah.
It's great. Please have those
Absolutely.
t-shirts also.
Yeah.
But also have t-shirts of our mythological superheroes.
Right.
You know, and this was an attempt in that direction. The fact that your producer's 6-year-old son wants to watch this, he wants to idolize our own cultured gods. When I was watching the film for the first day on Friday, I was sitting down seeing all the movie credits, everybody was going. There was a 10-year-old boy who was in the center of the stage, नीचे जहाँ पे वो stage area होता है ना,
right.
वहाँ पे जाके जय श्री राम पे he was dancing. You know, if it moves a child so much, they will then get curious about it. Then they will buy the right kind of texts about it.
Right.
And that's what we have to do. We as filmmakers just want to bring another perspective to it.
All right. I think you would agree with me when I say that TV shows and web series and movies, they frame young minds, they shape young minds.
Yes.
But would you also agree with me when I say that when these TV shows and movies highlight domestic abuse and violence, do you think they also part of contribute to the problem of the in the society?
Yes, they do. I do take responsibility for that. But at the end of the day, I don't take complete responsibility.
Yeah.
It is a part of it.
Absolutely.
Right? So yes, we do have a certain responsibility, but as filmmakers, as storytellers, we also have a responsibility of saying our story to the complete T. Right? So it is, yes, as much as it is our thing, it is also the person who's acting out because of this. If this acted as a stimuli, शायद वो पिक्चर नहीं देखता, कुछ और चीज से उसको वो स्टिमुलाई मिल जाती और वो जाके वही करता, फिर मूवीज आर बीइंग ब्लेम्ड बिकॉज वी आर सॉफ्ट टारगेट्स. Right, we really are soft targets.
Right. I wanted to ask you, you know, you've worked in OTT, you've been on the big screen, and I know that you started your journey on TV, and it has been a phenomenal journey. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
But I'm sure, like right now, it's all glitz, glamour, success for you. But I'm sure that that was not the case, like always. So when you were trying to step your foot in the industry, were you ever stereotyped as a TV actor, or did that sort of was an obstacle to you ever in the industry?
Firstly, to answer the first part of your question, the struggle is still there. I am still in that same zone. I don't think I've come any different. Directors, writers, producers are not lining outside my house giving me offers of films.
Right.
ऐसा नहीं है. I wish that it comes to that stage, but after 22 years now, I'm still in that, and I've accepted it humbly. That is the process.
Yeah.
Right? One day I will reach over there. To address that, that's the first thing. Second, about the stereotyping, it happens. I cannot fight that. What I will do though is I'll say, okay, I will make the stereotype first. Then I will go about to break it.
Right.
Right? That is a challenge on me. I cannot expect others to change. True change comes when I change the way I respond to things. People, situations, they're not going to change. If I want true change, I have to change the way I respond to it. So if I'm being stereotyped, I will own it and then I will break it.
Also, what's a deal breaker for you in a relationship? For Siddhant, what's a deal breaker?
Definitely, if I'm in a relationship with a guy like Anik, that's a big deal breaker. Abuse of any kind is a deal breaker. you know, this relationship, they keep saying, chalo yaar, settle ho jate hain. Settle ho jate hain. I've always been troubled with this word settle. अरे शादी कर लो, settle हो जाओ. मुझे settle नहीं होना. Yeah, I've not come into I want marriage or a relationship to be a launch pad. You know, so that both the people in that relationship are supportive, such that they both find a launch pad into wherever direction they're going. That is a healthy relationship. If somebody is pulling you down, no matter how much it is, it's not healthy. It's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's about just being supportive of each other and realistic. ठीक है, you're a great person, I'm a great person, but together we're not great together. You know, it's not always going to happen that two great people will be great. That's something which happened with my marriage. Megha is great. I'm greater. But we didn't work together well. And we found our ways separately, and today both of us are happier because of it.
So before I wind up, I'm sure all your fans are excited to know what's in your pipeline now. What are you bringing for us now? Anything special?
Something very special is coming. I'd like to say this about this film. It's after 22 years of being in this industry, this is the first time that this film I did not need to audition for. I did not need to go the route. The director had seen my work. I sat down with him for 2 hours we spent, and by the end of it he offered me the film. For me, in terms of an actor, that is my mark of success. And that ability or that changeover that's happened, I think that is something that I'm very proud about. It's a film called Animal. It's going to be coming.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
So
Wow.
you heard about it? Good.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
of course I did. But we're so excited to watch you in that now. That's lovely.
I'm excited to watch myself in there.
We had a lovely conversation with you. It was an amazing time we had with you here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank
We're
you for
glad
having
that you
me.
had a good time. Thank you so much.